Hello. Thought I'd say something
Hello.
different because Richard wanted to impersonate me last week. Good evening, good afternoon, good. I'm just going to stop saying that. But welcome
I like
everyone
it.
to Intercept Insights. Yeah, I kind of like it too. But welcome everyone to Intercept Insights, episode 9. We just had a small discussion. This is going to be 9 or 10. But last week was the call special. You remember the one where he decided to update his laptop during the stream. So that didn't count. There was the call special with partially Carl. But now we're at episode 9. Looking forward to it. Wasn't here last week. I'm here today. Really happy. Richard Gregor, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good, thanks. Welcome back. We missed you last week, must say. But Richard did a sterling job, but yeah, it's always good to have you back.
About that. Now I don't have to do any buttons, so I got hands-free, which is good.
It was good. It was good. So we got a holiday season coming up, so someone might have to do it again. We'll see, but let's start with Gregor might have to do it. Gregor,
No.
All right, let's start with the weekly retrospective. How was last week, Richard?
Yeah, it was good. So work-wise, I did some AKS sessions with some customers, which was really cool. Just sort of talking to them about either their cluster or their plans to go to AKS. I've been the buddy for Carl, who wasn't half on the show and half not on the show last week, the Carl special one. So I've been sort of spending a lot of time with him, teaching him the way we do things here at Intercept, showing him how to deploy landing zones and stuff like that. He's been making a few changes, doing a few Git pull requests and stuff, which has been awesome to see. At the weekend, I actually did a bit of painting and started to paint and decorate my living room, which I posted on Twitter. So if you haven't seen that, my Twitter is just there. So go and have a look. But apart from that, yeah, it's been quite a fun week. Really hot still in the UK, very humid. But it's been good. How about you,
Doing quite a few things actually. So a customer wanted to replace an existing ESB, an enterprise service bus. So I've been talking to them, potentially looking at Azure Service Bus and some other Azure services. Also having a chat with a customer who wants to modernize a new app and add Azure AD authentication as well. Tuesday morning we had the Azure Governance Deep Dive workshop. Myself and Wesley were doing that. Also been helping a customer with some SSIS package issues, so kind of helping them add logging and kind of working out what's wrong with that. One other customer was helping learn Azure Data Factory, so that was quite cool, teaching them how to use Data Factory, bring in data from external sources, transform it, clean the data up, and move it into SQL Server. So that was pretty cool. And on a personal note, I passed the Azure Developer Renewal exam on Sunday, I think it was. So yeah, that's actually. I got a bit of a heads up that it's quite tricky from our colleague Dan, so I made sure I spent a little bit of time. It's all about Cosmos DB and Azure API management. I knew a fair bit about Cosmos DB, but I hadn't really played about Azure API management for a while, so I had a look at the policies and things like that. So that's just a little inside information. It's Cosmos DB and Azure API management, but that's what I've been doing this past week.
I was definitely struggling with those Cosmos DB questions as well.
A little bit tricky. It's not an easy one. Yeah, it's not super difficult, but it's not straightforward.
Yeah, no, with you. All right, yeah.
What about yourself, Wesley?
Yeah. So I did a lot of wrapping up before holiday season. Going on holiday next week, so wrapping up on lots of emails. Did a few workshops. I just did one about 2 hours ago. That was in Dutch, which is, believe it or not, I am Dutch, but we always present. We do sessions in English, so doing that in Dutch again. I was taking over for a colleague. I was really struggling. I was really struggling because all the sheets and the words are still in English, obviously in the Azure stuff. So that was sort of a struggle, but that went all right. So the workshop with yourself, also dug into some AKS Calico stuff with Richard. We had a good call about that, about Calico Enterprise, which is really interesting. And I've got an EA to CSP migration coming up, so I've been preparing for that as well. As much as you have to prepare for that, because basically, as an Azure Expert MSP, right, it's just clicking the button, making sure there's no unsupported stuff, and then you press transfer and there you are. You're from EA to CSP, but there's still some checks you need to do. I think most of it is figuring out who is the EA account admin, and does that person still work at the company, and do you still have access to the email address? Luckily, this company has all that, so that's good. But I had some lengthy migrations like that, so just preparing for that. Yeah, and I'm also sort of very warm here, just as Richard mentioned here as well. This is my third T-shirt today. The third one. For some reason, even when the sun.
What does it say? If you're happy and you know it, clap your.
If you're happy, you know it. Clap your. Ooh. We just asked, can you explain why you want to do an EA to CSP migration? Yes.
Good question.
You must do an EA to C. So the reason is that EA contracts, enterprise agreements, if you will, we know them from many years ago. They were more familiar to people. If you buy Windows Server licenses, then you would normally have an EA contract for 1 or multiple years. So you do what they call an upfront commit. So you pay. This is what you're thinking you will use in Azure. So you pay that, and if you stay under it, then, well, obviously Microsoft made some profit. If you go over it, you go in what we call an overspend, and then the discounts no longer count. But that's not really the way you want to do public cloud, because public cloud is all about pay for what you use, and as Gregor likes to say, pay for what you forget to turn off. But you want to pay for what you used at the end of the month, right? So that's why you want to go to CSP, which is a pay-per-use model, not through credit card, but actually through a Microsoft partner. They have the billing risk to Microsoft. They also have to support contracts with Microsoft. You can leverage them. You can ask them for help. It comes with a lot of additional benefits, sometimes a discount, sometimes not. Depends on the commercial person. I'm going to get into that very much. But yeah, there are a lot of benefits to going to CSP and actually leverage that pay-per-use model. I think we also need to do a shout out to Izzy
and Amelia.
And Amelia.
Awesome. Hi, Izzy and Amelia.
Good afternoon. Happy to have you. Glad you're. Hope everything is well.
Yep, echo that.
Mm-hmm.
Missing you in the community, but yep, sure you're busy.
Yeah, we've got a new community hero. It's going to be Amelia. We're expecting lots of pictures, lots of Azure stuff. So fingers crossed. But we're all really excited for you. All right, I think it's time for the next part. What's new in Azure? And what is new in Azure, Richard?
So, what's new in Azure? There's been quite a few announcements this week. I think Greg is going to go into more details about one of them, so I won't go into that. But like App Service has sort of gone into public preview for the OWASP mod security rule set, which is quite cool. So go check that out. And there's been quite a few announcements, really. Nothing major. Nothing really that stands out in the container world for me, apart from Form Recognizer can now be run in a container in public preview. So Form Recognizers is a way to use AI to extract data from invoices, receipts, and stuff like that. So you can now run it at the edge in your own tin or VMs anywhere, basically, which is really cool. How about you, Gregor? What's new for you?
There's a couple of things. Everyone needs to update PowerShell version 7 and 7.1 to protect against the vulnerability. So if you're using PowerShell 7 or 7.1, please do update that as soon as you can. The major announcement, well, not major announcement, but the kind of main announcement is App Service Environment v3 is now generally available. And the other thing I wanted to mention was when I was demoing and helping a customer set up Azure Data Factory, the Azure portal for Data Factory has changed, so it's a lot nicer. So it's got a new layout, very similar to what Synapse is. So it's the same sort of look and feel now that Synapse has got. So that's pretty cool. So I only noticed that when I was demoing it. I was telling the guy to go click here and click there, and I was like, oh, that's moved. It's like we need to try and find it again, which is so always good. So yeah, that's been updated. So that's kind of what's new in Azure for me this week.
Cool.
All right. For me, Well, I haven't been keeping track of a lot of new Azure stuff the last week. Been wrapping up for stuff for my holiday, but we just talked about it pre-show. We do need to mention the Azure Summit, where we will do a session, the three of us. And it's going to be a real customer scenario on app modernization. So how did they go from virtual machines in data center to their new platform in Azure, and then it evolved into another platform in Azure. We're going to go through that story step by step. So the lessons learned, the epic stuff that we did, stuff that went wrong, have to discuss that as well. So really looking forward to that. It's happening in September. You can register now. So I like it doing a session with three of us. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it'll be good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And what about the Kaseya stuff? Not that Azure-ish, but that ransomware attack on Kaseya, that was quite the thing over the weekend.
Yeah, was it 70 million worth of Bitcoin they want or something like that?
It was a lot. Yeah. You really see the companies that used it, that leveraged Kaseya, they had some challenges.
I feel sorry for the companies that get hit with ransomware. That's not good.
Yeah, and it's ransomware is becoming, well, it was already a topic that you discuss with customers, right? So how to deal with security, but it's still, you can see people are not that invested into zero trust models, or they still leverage traditional components, and the less virtual machines you use, the less chance you have. I mean, I talked to Richard about containers. I'm sure it'll come. Maybe it's already here. I think I've read some stuff about it, but it's far less likely. And if you do it well, if you build it all well, you can really minimize risk way easier than you do with traditional data centers and stuff. So that was quite a shock. And, but luckily we were not impacted. So that's good.
No.
We've got a lot of countermeasures on that stuff, but it's always fingers crossed, right?
Yep. I think Rinny's just put a comment in about he read about the data. There it is. The data written to Azure was automatically rolled back, which is really cool to see. Microsoft sort of looking after their customers.
Yeah, that's. I think Microsoft is one of the better security companies out there. Whereas I think 15 years ago we didn't expect that, but they really upped their game. They've got great security stuff, so and great policies.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. I think it's time for our guest.
I think
We've got guests waiting. Excited about this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Every day. I'm going to do my voice thingy. Like I said. I got text prepared for Arjen. I got text. So, in a world of chaos, where calendars were overflowing, humanity was in need for a hero. From the darkness, he appeared. He brought structure to the chaos, and humanity was saved. Meet our living legend, Arjen.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing good. What a great introduction, Wesley. Thanks.
Yes, couldn't help myself.
Yeah, welcome to
Intercept. It's awesome to be on your show, guys.
We're really happy to have you. Yeah. So, Arjen, we've got questions for you. Which, first of all, I want to say welcome. I really love it that you're joining us. We go way back at Intercept. We've worked together for a long time, and so we got some questions that might go into a bit of detail on that. We might think of new questions based on your answers. Okay. Rich is going to ask the first question. Let's see how it goes.
Bring it on, guys.
Cool. Right, so Arjen. All right, that's permission to ask some deep questions. But first, tell us something about yourself. How long have you been working at Intercept, and what do you actually do at Intercept?
Yeah, good question, Richard. Yeah, I'm working for Intercept for 5 years now. I think more than 5 years. And I started as an operational manager at Intercept. So, and that means at Intercept that I'm responsible for the consultancy team, working on interesting and challenging projects, to be honest, all around the world. And from the beginning, I'm working and cooperating with Wesley in the team. So Wesley and I are going on, a few times back. So that's pretty awesome. And So that's it. So, and if you look at our current team, that's to be honest, that's great to see how our team is developing and how we are growing. And yeah, Gregor, Richard, you also starting for, I think, the end next year, the second half next year of last year, sorry. And yeah, that's great. The skills and the high, yeah, that's nice to see the team growing, and yeah, how we can help our customers, yeah, on a very high level. So that's great. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you a question about just that very thing, Ian. So you're managing a team that used to be located only in the Netherlands. Now that we're all over, so I think we've got 5 or 6 people in the UK. We've got Sandra in Germany and somebody, Leonard from South Africa. How have you experienced the change, and what's changed for you, having to deal with kind of Scottish accents and things like that?
Yeah, that's to be honest, exciting change, because normally we are familiar, of course, with communicating in Dutch, but all of a sudden you guys came up and you need to try to speak in another language like English. And to be honest, for me personally, there was, yeah, I learned a lot, and I still learn a lot about that, because yeah, how to manage that. From the beginning, I start trying to schedule on the different point in times during the week some short sync calls with you guys, to stay in contact, to stay connected, and to know what's happening. Not only if you look at the projects or what we're doing at the customer side, but also your personal life. That's also important. So and I think if I look back from the couple of, yeah, let's see, if we look back for a year, I think we are all, and I think it's a team effort. We managed to do that very well. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. I'm very proud of that. If you look at how the team is, how we work together, not only our team, because we are working in the same team, but also if you look at the other teams at Intercept, it's quite an interesting journey. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's been great.
Okay.
I got one. I haven't got it on the list, but it's one I just thought of. So we've been working together for 1 million years, and I always tell people I really wouldn't want to do Arjen's job, because the things you have to do, I mean, you have to manage the calendars. Are people happy? Are customers happy? How do the projects work? Well, obviously we got a new project manager now, so we can put some workload on him as well. But we've had some quite heated discussions, which I really love. So it's for everyone. Arjen and I can really go against each other from a business perspective.
No.
But we always it's always good. It's always I really love working with Arjen. We can always say what we think, but you have to deal with a lot of that. So how do you, at the end of the day, the amount of stuff and things you have to deal with, obviously a lot of it is very positive, but you also, right, because you pretty much pull the stuff out of the fire when we screw up. That happens. So how do you deal with that at the end of the day, when you end the workday and you're more like a 24/7 kind of guy when it comes to working, because whenever we contact you, you are there. But how do you switch off at the end of the day?
That's a good question. I think the most important here is that, and it may be a little bit cliche, but it's important that there's a direct and open communication with your team members, and try to be open as possible with the customer, of course. So for the example you mentioned, Wesley, our discussions and things like that, that's a really good example, I think, how things must go. If you look at communication perspective, that's very important. And I try, and it, of course, if something goes wrong, say something goes wrong. So don't say, oh, everything was fine. And sometimes it's hard, sometimes not easy to say something goes wrong, but that's the most important. And if you can manage to do that, then at the end of the day, you can take you can relax, or try to relax. And to be honest, guys, it's not always that I'm sitting in my chair and watching television and I think, oh, I'm totally relaxed. Of course not. But I think the most important is that the way you communicate with your team and with the other colleagues at Intercept and with your customers, the open communication, try to be honest, even if your message is not that nice to say to the customer or to your colleagues. Yeah, I think that's the key.
So yeah, no surprises.
But
No
I
surprises.
I want something to add here. If you look at Intercept and all the people who are working at Intercept, we are, I think, from my perspective, and I think I'm right, we are all very high skilled and very professional in what we are doing. And if you look at my day-to-day job and what I need to do in the operations, that makes my life very easier. Let's say that, because if you look at how we work in projects, I can give you a half word or something, and then the project is running. So that makes my life a lot easier. So yeah, I think that's also an important factor here. Yeah.
I think we got it nailed down really well as a team. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, if you look at the future, guys, I think it only can go. It will be tremendous. If you know what I mean? It's great. Yeah.
I agree.
Cool. So, sort of leaning on from that, if it was possible, what would you change at Intercept and why?
Yeah, what would I change? Now, that's a good question again. Yeah, I think most of the things. I think we are really good in how our. If you look back in the last 5 years, how we developed our culture and how we are working together with each other. So we need to keep that, and we really don't need to change that. That's very important because I think it's a big part of our success. Yeah, yeah, that's a good question.
I would say a second place seat, but
yeah, maybe a second place seat. But then, yeah, I mentioned earlier in the management team, maybe we can buy a whole grid, so 20 seats, so we can do a Grand Prix or something like that. But yeah,
that'd be good.
No. I think if you look at every part of how we're doing things right now at Intercept, and we're growing very fast, especially if you look at the last 2 years, it's growing increasingly fast. So that's good. Yeah, I think of how things are going now. For me personally, I'm very happy, and we don't need to change big things here. We are already changing a lot of things. We are trying to spread our wings around the world, and that's a good thing. So yeah.
Yeah, great answer. And what's your best memory of working at Intercept? What's your favourite memory so far?
Whoa, those are a lot. Yeah, let me think. Yeah, of course. Maybe a fun fact is that, and I think I remember it well, that we're playing sometimes a FIFA soccer game on the Xbox, and normally I lose, and then other colleagues want to take a bet on me. Yeah, so okay, let's try to score 2 goals in the first half or something. No, and I'm always in for a challenge. Okay, so I said, okay, let's do that, but I want to add something. If I can manage to score 2 goals in the first half, then you eat a complete kiwi, as it is. So without getting rid of the skin, and I managed it. So the first half, I scored 2 goals. And the colleague,
who was it that ate the kiwi?
Who was that?
Yeah, Harold.
Oh,
did he do it?
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, it was in our old office building. Yeah,
I was thinking Harold now. If he can be on the stream at some point, we're gonna ask him about that now.
That's amazing. I love that.
That's a great memory and also a fun fact. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, but I love it.
All right.
Yeah, and the other things. Let me think. For me, it's great to see and to be part of how we are expanding at Intercept. That I'm very happy that we have that we are even that you guys, Gregor, Richard, that you joined the team. Of course, Daniel, Carl, all the international colleagues. That is for me personally. That's great. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Gregor is up for the next question, I think.
No, I asked that one. So it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. I am paying attention, by the way. So intrigued by the answer. All right. If you could choose, where would you go on a holiday and why? If money didn't matter, if you could pick anything, where would you go and why would you go there?
That's a good question. I want to travel sometimes in any time to Japan or whatever, to visit Tokyo or whatever. So I want to visit that country, but I'm a big history fan. So if money doesn't matter, I want to go on my bucket list and to check all the history places for example, for the Second World War or whatever. So I want to travel to Pearl Harbor in Hawaii and all that kind of stuff. So I think I will do that. Yeah, definitely.
Nice. That's cool.
That's good.
Yeah. So, talking about history, do you have any hobbies outside of work and history?
I try to sport, take a run, mountain biking. I try. And otherwise, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Right, one last question. I want to ask you, Arjen, did you understand me at the start of when I first joined Intercept, or did you just sit and go, yep, quite a lot?
Yeah, now most of it I understand, but it takes time because I had to learn how you pronounce things and how you're saying and what you're And for me, Richard was easier because it's more. For me, it's more school book English, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that was easier. But for now, I'm totally familiar. No, not totally. That's too big. But I can understand you very well if you speak normal. But if you're going too fast, then it's too Scottish, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
What about Carl? What about Carl?
Yes,
I can understand him. Yeah. That's no problem. Yeah.
So we have to give people some credit here because before all the international colleagues joined, we were much still focused on the Netherlands. We were expanding. We did workshops outside, but like the operations, well, you, Arjen, and our manager for managed services, Bastian, a lot of other people, they didn't really deal with international customers. They did, but they didn't have the calls and the sessions and the meetings. So I would say that, by the way, we did talk in English. We had a session at Microsoft many, many years ago where Arjen and I we were pioneering.
That was nice.
We were going to Microsoft and they flew in a bunch of architects. We were going to do a presentation on what was good in Azure and what needed fixing. I think Arjen did the good, bad, and ugly presentation, which was really good. That was in English, but we did really well there. But in the last couple of years, especially in the last year, people made such a huge jump in their English communication. I think I even recall last year, pre-COVID, so it might be 2 years ago, that we actually, people did some English courses and we actually had meetings in English, Arjen and myself, just talk in English. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Because I think one part is just feeling confident in doing it. Mm-hmm. It's not just knowing the language.
And what really helped for me personally, sometimes I ask Richard or Gregor or the other guys, how is my English? And Richard and Gregor, you both saying, just do it. Talk English.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I'm actually jealous that you guys can speak a different language.
So that helps me a lot. But sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes it's difficult to find the right words. And not if you talking in a project with a customer and you're talking technical English, that's maybe the easy part. But how do you say the small talk? That's the most for me. That's always the most difficult.
I'm just jealous that you guys can do that because I'd love to learn another language. I'm trying to learn Dutch, but it's not easy.
You can go here in the Netherlands. You can go to a monastery, and you're there nuns, and you can learn Dutch if you want.
You can.
I'll pass that one.
What I actually found difficult is the different cultures of people. So I like to make jokes and say stuff, and I normally say stuff before I think about it. And then you have meetings with groups of people, and all right, I made this joke, and in the Netherlands, everyone will laugh about it. But I don't know if someone else will actually like it as well or find it really offensive. I was really struggling with that in the beginning. Well, I think we're all right now, but that's always one of the challenging things. So then you got the small talk down, and then you've got that culture and the humor thing. All right, and I see that Carl is saying English is really good, and he says,
me too.
I feel I should learn Dutch now. We can learn you a couple of words. We can definitely teach you some words.
I know some words, but it's not for this stream.
Yeah, not for the stream. All right.
After hours.
Yeah, after hours. We need a beer first. All right, we've got some this or that or speed questions, if you will, for you. I think Greg is going to shoot them at you. You have to answer as fast and as honest as possible. You can elaborate after, not during.
All right.
Okay. Right, you ready, Aaron? I'll try and speak in my slow Scottish accent. Right, let's go. Star Trek or Star Wars?
I think Star Trek. I'm not sure. I'm not.
You don't like either, don't you? Yeah, I don't think you like either. Okay, cool. Pirates or ninjas?
Pirates.
Reading books or watching movies?
Reading books.
New phone or new laptop?
Phone.
Okay. A successful career or a happy family life?
Happy family life, for sure. Yeah.
Born in the future or born in the past?
Future.
Cool. Be invisible or be able to read people's minds?
Being invisible?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
or be able to read people's minds?
No, invisible.
Morning shower or morning shower or evening shower?
Morning.
Manicure or pedicure?
Hard questions are out now.
I take the pedicure. Yeah.
They only get harder. Red Bull or Mercedes?
Yeah, Red Bull, of course. No question about that.
Italy or England? For the football, I mean, Italy or England? Who are you supporting?
England. Yeah, of course, England.
Good answer.
Good answer. And then last question: you up or running?
Rini.
Okay, well done. Controversial, but well done.
That's going to be a discussion at stand-up tomorrow.
I think I need to pack my box or something tomorrow.
It was good working with you. I enjoyed working with you. Well, it lasted.
Thank you, guys. Maybe we can stay in contact.
Yeah, definitely.
What I also want to know is, how have you not watched Star Trek or Star Wars? What's going on here?
Sorry, but I'm not that interested in those kind of movies.
What about The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I've never watched that. Sorry, but I think
Wesley doesn't like you anymore. But Wesley's speechless. So you've made him speechless. How did you manage it?
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
No, okay.
It's all right.
Just,
no problem.
Mine's blown. No one. You got like one or the other. Everyone does.
I thought, what Marvel then? Marvel or DC?
Yeah, Marvel. Yeah.
Oh, you do watch.
That's okay.
Kids.
Yeah, with the kids.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
I think that's it for our questions. Yeah.
Okay,
so, Arjen, we want to thank you very, very much for joining. It was amazing, and we'll see you at stand up tomorrow, hopefully, depending on when Job listens to this. But
Job is ringing.
All right, thank you, and thank you, Arjen, and we're gonna head on to the fun facts. Bye bye.
Thank you, guys, for being on your show. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. That was good. I enjoyed that.
That was still a bit disgusted about the Star Wars and Star Trek thing, but at least it's haven't watched either.
Yes.
If it would be Star Trek because Star Wars sucks, then this would be the end of this show. It would be stuff. Right, fun facts. I got fun facts. We got new swag.
Oh yes.
We got new swag. So we had the summer drinks, which I wasn't there because I want to go on a holiday next week and test negative and do all that. So we're a bit careful. Really want to go. Hopefully nothing turns red the upcoming days. We won't know, fingers crossed, but I really want to go to Disneyland. But we got swag for the summer. I think you guys still supposed to get it because it's a bit off. But we got this cooling box.
Nice.
Which is great for the holiday. it even opens up. Well, that's what cooling boxes do, but I like it. Last year or the year before, we had like slippers and stuff and beach stuff. Things like that. That was good. And more importantly, it's a bit too hot to wear them right now. We got swag. I love it.
Nice.
We got
Very
hoodies.
nice.
I've been wanting Intercept hoodies for years. I love it. Love it. Got one in white.
Cool.
Looks very comfy.
It is comfy. I'm really careful with the white one because, well, you see me eat. So. You might not be my friend.
Not pretty
So
tight.
be careful.
That's
But
why
we
you-
also got. Yeah, that's why I also got a black one. Yeah, we also got a black one, which is really good. I love it, and they are actually really comfortable. That's the thing, you know. What makes a hoodie? Well, obviously the hoodie, but they need to be comfortable.
Nice.
That's a fun fact. I really like it. There were some bears in that as well, but they didn't last very long. They only lasted the cooling period in the fridge. So that was it. Yeah. So fun. Other fun facts. No, I'm going on holiday next week. Hopefully,
You
if
are?
everything goes through. And
I'm off next week. as
Yeah.
well, which is good.
but we will have a show next week for everyone. Just,
Yes.
you know, we will have a show. I will, depending on where I am, I will join by phone and see if I can do a little.
Hopefully, in the Magic King in Disneyland, it'd be amazing.
Hopefully,
to
I'll
see
already be in it.
Oh,
with
Yeah.
the castle behind you or something down Main Street.
That would be
Also,
cool.
be awesome.
Yeah, or in the village having a couple of beers after a long drive.
Yeah.
That might be the case, but hopefully I can do that. Yeah,
Cool.
but we'll be here. I think Gregor will be here as well,
I'll be here.
even though he's on holiday. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll come in. Yeah.
That's good.
Look
And
forward to
then
it.
one other fun fact: this was Arjen's first ever live stream on
So
the
it was.
internet.
yes.
So that's
Yes.
really cool. So yeah, thanks very much, Arjen, for
Yeah, yeah, much appreciated. That was good. Who are we going to have on
Yeah.
next week? Do we know?
Oh
Have we just need to pick
no,
something?
we haven't thought of someone yet. We'll find someone. We'll find a victim.
Mhm.
But then Richard has to do the introduction of the guest,
Yes.
as in
it
the
is.
style we just did it. So better get
Not sure
practicing.
about that one.
Yeah, sure you can.
Not
Sure
as
you
good as
can.
you
All
are.
right. No, it's fun. It's a little crazy, but fun. All right. That's it for today. And
Cool, enjoyed it. That was good
yeah,
fun.
yeah, I did. It was great. I really missed it last week. It's the thing I live to every week. I love it. I love it. All right, so that's the end. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for joining. Hopefully,
Yep.
see you next week.
Cheers,
And,
everyone.
Have a good day.
Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.